Okay, let me show you a quick demonstration on how to change the inline CSS to internal CSS. So you've got your hobby web page here. Looks, well, mine anyway, looks like this. Actually a student's, but I'm using it. So it's the rock climbing. It's got content on the page, but it's got some styling, but it doesn't have any layout. There's no layout, so there's no div tags. So we're adding the div tags for this assignment. But before we get to the div tags, we're changing the CSS to go from inline to internal. So inline means that the style attributes are inside the tags. Okay, inside the body tag we have a background color. Inside H1 we've got color and font family. And so all the tags, not all the tags, but a lot of them have this style attribute. Okay, that's inline CSS. We're going to change it to internal. It stays on the page, but we're putting it all outside of the body tag. We don't want it to interfere with our HTML. Just clutters it a little bit. So instead, we're going to put it inside the head tags. So we already have two tags in there, meta and title. I'm going to put it down below, and they go inside the style tags. So opening style, closing style, and both of those are inside the head tags, so they're nested inside there. Now, to change it, first I'm just going to go down through and find all the style attributes and change from the top to the bottom. So the first one is in the body tag, style equals background color and a hexadecimal number. So in order to change it, I'm just going to reference that tag, which is the body tag. So right here, I'm just going to type body, and I'm going to do an opening curly bracket, press enter twice, and do a closing, just so I make sure I have an opening and closing. And I could nest that kind of however I want. There's different styles, as long as they're inside the style tags, which are nested inside the head tags. And maybe I'll tab those in once. There we go. Okay, so the body tag. Now I'm going to change the style attribute, or going to get rid of the style attribute. Now it's just inside the style tags. So I'm going to copy what's inside parentheses. I'm not going to use the parentheses. However, I am going to use the semicolon at the end. That separates properties and values. So I'll just copy it, Control C, and then paste it, Control V, right up here. Okay, this right there is the exact same thing as this inside the tag, except it's just all in one area, and it's out of the HTML, out of the body tags. So it's just to get it out of there, just to make it cleaner. It's the same style, just a different way of doing it. So now that I have it up there, I'm going to delete what's inside the body tag, and now I just am left with a body tag, which is much better. All right, I'm going to continue. The next one is inside the H1 tag. So I'm going to type H1, that references the tag. And notice I don't have a class name. I'll get to that once we get to the divs, because there's nothing unique about the H1 tags. There's only one H tag. If there were two and I wanted them different, then I would put a class name to differentiate them. But since there's only one, I'm just going to put H1 to reference that tag. Okay, the style is, there's actually two properties and two values, color, and there's the value, font family, and there's the value. So I'm just going to copy both of them inside the parentheses. I don't want the parentheses. Copy, paste, and since they're in line, I want to change it to be stacked on top of each other. So after the first semicolon, I'm going to press enter, and now they're stacked on top of each other. Two properties, two values, color with the hexadecimal number, and font family with the name of the font. And that's any H1 tag that's in my body tag that's on my page, it will change that way. But there's only one. Okay, moving on. Going to the next one. However, I'm going to take the style attribute out of there. And now it's just an H1 tag. But it's still got CSS. It's just being referenced up here in the style tags. All right, H2. So I'm going to put an H2, reference it here, put an opening curly bracket and a closing curly bracket, and I'm going to take out the style. There's two attributes as well, a color and a font family. And are they the same as this one? It looks like they are exactly the same. So I could have just copied that. In fact, I'm just going to go back real quick. I'm going to copy this. Since it's exactly the same, I should have looked at that before. Copy, paste, and just change the tag name, the selector. So now H2 is going to be the same color and same font as H1. So I'm going to get rid of the style attribute. Let me look for other H2s. There's another one right there. Is it the same? Yep, just the same. So I'm just going to take that one out. I've already referenced it up here with this. Same color, same font family. Okay, what's next? Paragraph. Okay, see if I have more. Paragraph there, paragraph there. Colors the same, font family the same. Paragraph, color, font family, all the same. Every paragraph was the same. So this is a benefit to having it internal up here in the style tags rather than inline, because inline we have to put the style attribute in every paragraph tag. There's 4 of them here. So instead of putting them in five tags inline, all I have to do is reference it one time up here, internal. I'll put a paragraph, opening bracket, closing bracket, and then I'm just going to paste the color property and the font family property and values. Press enter there, and that references every paragraph that's in the body tag, in the body tags. So I'm going to get rid of all that style, all those style attributes inside the paragraph tags. Okay, I've gotten rid of all style. There is one over here in the image tag. Those will remain there, just so we don't have to reference images because they're all different, usually heights and widths. So we're going to keep those. That's the exception. Keep the style attributes inside the image tags. Everything else inside tags are gone. So it makes it a lot cleaner down here and more correct. And it's all up here now. It should look exactly the same on the web page. If I save this and go back to the web page, this should not change. It's the same style. It's just done differently in the code. That's more correct. Once you have this done, then you can move on to the next half of the assignment, which is to put the div tags in. And there's another video for that, number 2.